Okay. Hello everybody and welcome to LEA Webinar once again. Today we're going to discuss about the supplier's experience on a PCP project, and I have a special guest today, Teemu Laitinen. You can introduce yourself a little bit, who you are and what is the name of your company.
Hello everybody, so my name is Teemu Laitinen and I come from a company called Almerin. And Almerin was involved in this Emaili project, which was the PCP project, and we have been selected to the final phase of the project, and that's the reason why I'm here.
Okay. So, but let's go back a little bit about 5 years or
Yes.
so. So how did you get interested in innovation procurement?
Yeah, I was in a conference in Milano, a island, and there was Elinor Wallin, the project manager of Emaili project. She was presenting Emaili project there, and before that I had never heard about Emaili project, and then I realized that this is something that we could do. I have competencies and experience in this field, and then I also have networks which have a lot of experience in this field, and then we kind of created this network and created Almerin, and then we participated in Emaili project, and it was a successful story in that sense.
So let me get this straight. So you set up the whole company to participate in innovation procurement Emaili project.
Well, exactly. Well, I had plans to set up this kind of company, but before Emaili project, it didn't make sense because I didn't have resources, I didn't have customers, and so on. So let's say Emaili enabled this. Let's say set up the company and and follow my dreams, so to say.
Wow. But you had some experience, I guess, in setting up companies before,
Yes.
so it didn't come
Yes.
completely from zero
That's true.
experience.
I'm a serial entrepreneur, so this is actually my fourth company in IT field. So,
wow. Yeah, but that's quite a process. So you went through all the 3 phases of the PCP process?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
So the first phase is the idea phase?
Yes, we created a concept, and then there were 11 concepts in this Emaili project, and 4 best concepts were selected to the second phase, and those companies developed a prototype, and after that those 4 prototypes were evaluated, and 2 best prototypes were selected to the final phase. And we were selected there, and then these 2 companies developed the ready product.
Okay, so what happened in the final phase, actually, in the one last year of the project?
Yeah, so it was development all the time, of course, but then we also tested the prototypes in real environment, in real classrooms, with real students and teachers. So basically, we developed and tested in a real classroom and developed further and then again tested, and it was kind of cooperation between schools, procurers and with the companies.
So in the PCP project, the procurers are actually investing in the R&D. So they are not investing into the final product.
Exactly.
But they are investing into something innovative, something that is not ready yet.
Yeah, exactly. And good thing is that the need comes from the procurers. In this case, it came from the schools and from the teachers and the students. And then we developed a product that fulfilled the need, and then we tested it in a real life environment, like in classroom.
Is it easy, or was it easy at the start to understand what they wanted or the needs? I mean, when you were setting up like 4 or 5 years ago and thinking about the concept,
yes.
was it easy to kind of understand the need?
No, it wasn't easy at the beginning because we had only paper document which describes the need, and that that time it wasn't easy. Of course, it helped me because I have been teacher by myself as well, so I could understand the environment and what the needs could be. That helped a lot. But when the process got further, it became easier and easier because we got access to the classrooms, and we were able to talk to the teachers and students, and then we understood the need much better. So it was easier and easier all the time, but not at the beginning. It wasn't easy at the beginning.
So did you start to do some sort of mock-ups straight away, or how did you start actually with?
Well, we started to do mock-ups, and you mean the concepting phase?
Yeah. Yes.
So, well, actually, like I mentioned, I've been teacher before, and I had an idea in my mind how we could improve learning and how we could improve the daily life in a classroom. And then actually I kind of transferred this idea in my mind to this concept. And we made mock-ups and we showed them to different teachers and asked opinions and so on. So that's how we improved them.
Yeah, so you were already connected to the teachers at very early stage, not just when the testing began.
No. Yeah, we had own networks where we got teachers involved, but not from the PCP project.
So let's talk a little about your product. Almerin has come up with a product called YipTree. That is a personalized learning environment, right?
That's right.
So what does that mean?
Yes, so personalized learning environment is a system that enables and supports individual learning. For example, in personal learning environment, students can find learning content which are suitable for them. They can communicate with teachers and with other students and even with parents. And also teachers can give assignments to the students, and also teachers can assess students in this personal learning environment. So it's kind of enables the whole learning process in a digital world. Not only in a digital world, because you can also connect traditional learning, but you have a system in internet where you can control everything.
So you can use it for blended learning as well as completely learning that is happening in online environments.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So exactly. So it's
right. But I'm just trying to think that before this, like what is new about personalized learning environments in comparison to, let's say, I think that a lot of schools have had like these websites online where they can publish things and there is some content there and so on. So what is actually what is like the next step right now that you see?
So the biggest difference in YipTree compared to other products on the market is that it's the first service or product that can analyze learning, and based on that analysis, it can choose correct learning content for each student individually. Like we all learn differently, we have different skill levels and competencies, and also we like to learn different ways. So for that reason, we should study different ways and we should have different learning content, individual learning content. And that can be done automatically in YipTree. And second thing is that it guides and helps students in the learning process. For example, if students make a mistake, it can tell the students what was the mistake. We don't necessarily need teachers to tell the student what was wrong with the answer. So.
So does the student also get like adaptive help?
Yes.
For based on their mistakes?
Yes, exactly. So that's how it works. So we have kind of virtual tutor, which it's kind of gives hints and help to the students when they study.
Okay. All right. So I because of the fact that I know that some of the listeners of this podcast, this webinar, do not quite maybe have an idea We're going to now put in a little video about what is YIP3 here.
Every student is an individual learner with a different set of skills and interests. The way of learning is also different. Some students learn best by using visual content. Some students need textual materials, and some learn by just doing things. However, in a traditional classroom teaching, all students are learning more or less in the same way. All students must listen to the same teaching and must go through the same learning content. Learning is usually organized in large classes, and therefore teachers don't have time to personalize learning. YIP3 offers a solution to this problem. YIP3 is a personal learning environment which uses artificial intelligence to measure and analyze students' individual learning. The artificial intelligence can identify optimal learning paths for each student, and it personalizes learning content based on students' learning style, skill level, and personal interests. Here we have two students, John and Lisa. John likes ice hockey and Lisa likes dancing. John learns best by using visual content, and Lisa learns best by reading textual materials. John is a very motivated and hard-working student. Lisa does not set learning goals as high as John. Both of them are studying the same physics phenomena, friction. On the left-hand side, we can see John's adapted learning content. On the right side, we can see Lisa's adapted learning content. Part of the content is the same for both of the students, since the teacher has set this curriculum-based content as mandatory for everyone. Below the mandatory content, there is adapted and personalized curriculum-based content. This adapted content has been selected by the artificial intelligence based on learning style, personal interests, and skill level of the student. Learning videos have been selected for John, since visual learning style is optimal for him. Ebooks have been selected for Lisa, since verbal learning style is optimal for her. There are also more challenging exercises for John, since he is a very motivated and skilled student. The artificial intelligence can also search new learning content from the internet, which is related on personal interests.
We will go to the last question. Okay, so I would still like to talk a little about your experience of in the innovation procurement project IMAIL. So from the supplier's point of view, how was the experience for you? What did you learn? What were the pros and cons? Can you talk a little about this experience?
Yeah. For supplier like it has a lot of pros. It's very useful tool and very helpful tool. Of course, we could get resources for our R&D, so that was probably the biggest pro and useful thing in PCP process for a startup like Almerin. But it's not only that. I would say that very important thing was also that we got this test environment. So we got access to the real classrooms, to real schools. We could talk to real students, real teacher, and we kind of developed the product together. And by doing that, we enabled that this product really fulfilled the customer need. So, and that's sometimes very difficult to create product that really fulfill the customer need. But this PCP process enabled that. So that was very useful. And of course, we could access to the real customers as well in this VCP process. So that was also very useful for us.
Have you changed somehow the way that you work?
Yes.
Because inside your company, because of the PCP process?
Yes.
For example, give some examples.
Well, I can give one example. In the PCP, when we did testing in the real schools, we kind of didn't understand how important it is to have ready-made learning content for teachers. Teachers don't want to use time to create learning content by themselves, and we didn't realize that in PCP process, and that was for that reason the testing was a bit challenging in this PCP process. But right now we make ready-made learning content for teachers in advance, so that when the teachers take HIP3 into use, they have already have ready-made learning content, and they just can start using it.
Okay, right. So basically, you have somebody who is kind of assisting the teacher at their work, and kind of tailoring the content for the teachers.
Yes, we have experts who have a teacher training, but they are working for us, and they create the content and help the teachachers.
Okay, so you actually changed your entire like testing process and your kind of like deployment process because of the PCP, that as a kind of so this has happened since we've like stopped working together. We're working together now, but what I mean is that since IML has ended half a year ago, this is completely new news. I didn't know that this has happened, and it has happened like even after the project has ended. So it's remarkable that actually like the effects of the PCP is still ongoing, and you can see it in your everyday working life, and you have actually changed your processes. So this is fantastic. Actually, I think this is enough. We're trying to keep this short. So thank you so much for coming here and doing this, and we'll continue working together.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. And I was Kati Clements, the coordinator of LEA project, if you still don't know who I am. Okay. See you guys.
Bye-bye.